All right. I really like this gun, and I always start controversy when I say that. If you're not familiar, this is a Beretta M9. It's actually a 92 FS, but this is the M9 edition, so it's a little more similar to what I actually carried as an MP. Main difference between an M9 and a 92 FS is that this dust cover here is straight as opposed to having a little curve to it. You're just safety, it's clear. But I really like this gun. I like the trigger on it. I'm a big fan of the double action, single action platform. I think it offers a lot of a really good balance of safety and precision. This one, the only thing, as you can see, it's kind of worn. I've run the dog shit out of it. I got it brand new, not a round had been fired. It looked pristine, and I've put probably about 10,000 rounds. Obviously, I've done spring changes and things of that nature, but it's been solid. I shot used the M9 in a bunch of Army competitions. Not this one in particular, obviously, but issued ones. And then I also ran this in a good bit of IDPA and USPSA. All right, it's a solid platform. During that time when I was shooting this a lot in competitions and such, I carried it as well, just for consistency. I was really comfortable with it. I have this really good, I carried it inside the waistband appendix. This is kind of not a no-name holster, but kind of lesser well-known, but all the staples of a good holster. You can get a good master grip on it, good solid clips. It's got this fin thing that'll torque the grip into your body so it doesn't print. So yeah, I carried all 36 ounces of this thing for 2 years. I loved it. I really did. But the Army changed from it, and I changed my MOS, so I don't do a lot of gun stuff in the Army anymore. And so I kind of stopped carrying it. It wasn't really, to me, that consistency wasn't worth as much. Now for my day job, we shoot Glocks. So there wasn't really a lot of need to maintain this consistency. Still great gun, keep it around the house. It is my go-to shit hit the fan gun in some situations, I suppose. But now I want to talk about my next carry gun, all right? And that is this one. This is a Smith & Wesson 3rd generation 6906. This is one of the later models with a rounded trigger guard, and this is what I carry. All right, you can kind of see it. Some similarities to this in the Beretta. Obviously, the safety decocker is in the same location. It is a double action, single action. I guess that's really all it has in common with the M9. But it's common enough for me that a lot of the stuff that I grew to love about the M9, this gun contains it. I picked this gun up for about $350 in a private sale. For a while, before 2020 hit, these were on sale everywhere. A lot of the surplus places like AIM Surplus, JG Sales, Classic Arms, they had these things for, again, $350. They were police trade-ins. Like there was just 10-year from 1994, whenever it came out, to about 2002, where these were pretty popular. And then Glock took over and Smith & Wesson came out with their M&P line, and this thing just left. Completely faded off, was discontinued, never used, seen in a couple movies, but it was like it never even existed, which is a damn shame because this is a really good gun. In fact, it's got a lot of features that you might see on some really higher price kind of bougie Gucci guns lately, and that's kind of why I like this gun. All right, first off, let's talk about magazine capacity. With the M9, standard was 15 rounds. Obviously, these days, and you could get much higher capacity. This is an 18-rounder Mech-Gar for the M9. Unfortunately, that same improvement hasn't been made for 3rd gen series magazines, or 59 or 69 series magazines. This is the stock magazine. It holds 12 rounds plus 1. To me, that is plenty for a concealed carry role. Obviously more is better, but I'm comfortable. It is 10 rounds of 9mm. You're kind of borderline, but to me you can get enough done with it. It's not just a one-man gun, as they say, where you're basically, if there's more than one enemy or opponent, their adversary, that you're kind of outgunned. This, with good shot placement, 10, 12 rounds, that to me is sufficient. All right, especially if you can reliably put those rounds where it matters. So this is a 12 round mag. This is a Mekgar. That's the stock magazine. Mekgar makes them. For some reason, the Mekgar ones have this weird plastic base plate to it. Never understood it. Same magazine capacity, 12 rounds. But I also managed to find this one somewhere. It came with another gun. It was a 69 series, I think, or maybe a 469, which is the second gen Smith. But this holds 15 rounds. It holds 15 rounds and it fits flushly. So it's not from a 59 series. It just happens to, I don't know. If anyone who sees this video has information about these kind of magazines, where I can get them, where I can find them, what they came with, who made them, I'll be so happy. It says Smith & Wesson on the bottom. However, all the other markings have been removed for some reason. Kind of sketchy. Man, I can't find them anywhere. I've looked, I've Googled it, I've searched, I've checked Gun Mag Warehouse. I can't find them. So if anyone has any information about these magazines, I would love it. It's the only one I have. It's what I carry with it. It's been 100%. But 15+1 suddenly turns in this gun into at least as capable as a Glock 19. Let's talk about some of these features that nicer, Guccier guns have. What I like about it is, one, it's double action, single action. I really like that trigger mechanism. And the trigger is really smooth, all right? It's a little stiffer than that M9 trigger. I do have I think a 12-pound hammer spring in that M9. So I could probably play with the springs and get this a little lighter, but it's not necessary. It's so smooth. There's a little bit of stacking, I guess. But honestly, on a draw and fire, I don't notice it. To me, it's not really worth making that upgrade or change or whatever. Single action is not bad for single action. You know, there's a bit of take up, and you know, it's a pretty crisp pull. It's not light by any means. It's probably every bit of 5 pounds, but it's good. It is a solid single action. And here's what I really like about it: this reset, right? Look at that. And I'm not talking about an audible reset. That's kind of been debunked by pro shooters now. But I'm talking about the travel of that reset. Look at this. Ready? Release, release, release. And that's the reset. It's incredible. It's really good. It's, SIG's SRT short reset trigger, even the Wilson Combat trigger bar for the Beretta, to me doesn't really... I mean, this is a standard gun. It doesn't have any of that stuff, but that reset that people pay lots of money to upgrade their gun to be able to do doesn't, this matches that out of the box. So that's pretty cool. All right, so also, this is a metal framed gun, a metal framed compact gun, all right? It's aluminum, so it's not, stainless steel boat anchor heavy. But it's rigid, and I've got nothing against polymer. Again, I shoot Glocks for work. I was a big fan of the PX4 series, but even with Langdon Tactical's trigger job in that PX4, there is still that polymer flexing that just happens in a polymer gun. It could be an HK, it can be a Beretta, it can be, I'm trying to think, a CZ P09. Like, all polymer guns just have this tiny bit of flex in them that I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't think anyone does. There's just something to be said for the rigidity of a metal frame gun, which this one has. .75, 32. So, with some change. So let's see here. The target started spraying a bit because the wind hit it, but let's see where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 5, so that's a 95. 96, 97. Sorry, down 7. So that's 93. 93! I'm stoked. Right. So what I kind of like to make this comparison to, right, is the Wilson Combat EDC X9. All right, it comes in about the same size, that Glock 19 size. It's a metal frame gun, super concealable, but you kind of have that performance there too in that small package. And that's what I think this gun offers. It's kind of got a more 1911 style slide release, meaning to me it's a bit too far forward to be able to hit it with my thumb. But as soon as you rebuild your dual-handed grip, you can just hit it with your offside thumb. It's pretty fast, or you can power stroke it. It's up to you. But if you do like the idea that you can get really nice and high on the gun without interfering with that slide catch or that slide release, this offers that. Again, so if you wanted an XD9, right, with that rigid metal frame and a small compact performance, size, but we're also a really big fan of the double action, single action, and a really good iteration of that, then I don't think you could find a better gun than this one. I really don't. I think that's why these have a cult following. And it's not like, a kind of dated philosophy by any means. You do see a lot of those features on the higher priced performance end guns these days. So anyway, I just wanted to bring your attention to it. This one does take Novak style sights. When I first got it, it was shooting a little low, not low left. All right. Many people, I don't know what kind of it came with, but I ordered the slightly taller rear sight from Novak. I tried mounting them myself. That went horribly wrong. I'm by no means a gunsmith. Kind of really fucked up the side there. Sent it off to a guy who works on 1911s. He's a good friend of mine, and he was able to actually trim, file, fit, and then mount this. So looks like it looks pretty ugly, but this is definitely a carry gun, a shooting gun. So I don't mind the look so much. I think it gives it a little bit of character, which is what everyone says about a beat-to-ass gun. But I dig it. Side picture's nice. I wish that front was a little brighter, but honestly, it works. It works well. Reliability. This gun's been 100% for me, right? And I can even say that about my M9. This thing, it'll hang up on. Honestly, it's not. When it's hung up, it's typically been with a Checkmate magazine or something of that nature. Maybe still, I should have a lot of steel case with it. Not to say it's been unreliable and nothing broke in it. It would just, every once in a while, I would have an actual malfunction with it, no matter what causes it. Maybe I just don't have as much round count in this gun, but I have had zero malfunctions with it, with all kinds of ammunition. I really like that. Again, another kind of something that came out of the 90s that they discontinued, but the Federal 9 PBLE, right? And they still have the 9PB. It's what my work issues actually. So it's not an HST, which stands for high shock 2. It's just the high shock round. So that's the bullet design. These happen to be plus P plus rated. So I don't know what the SAMI spec on it is, but they're coming out a little hot with that high shock bullet design. Anyway, that's what I carry. Runs these fine. I shoot some of the standard pressure 9 PB BP. Man, I really should look that up. I've shot Hydroshocks in it, some HSTs, 24 grain, 27 grain, 147 grain, and it doesn't care. All right, so I just, reliability wise, it's there. Now, the issue with this platform is it's discontinued, so it's really hard to find holsters for it. I carry it in this JM Custom. Custom meaning the keyword. It had about a 6-week lead time, but it is phenomenal. I do like this holster a lot. Everything gives me everything a holster should give me. Good clips, wing claw, a good grip in the holster. And I think this is his gray sea inside coloring, so it's kind of gray with figured to match the gun, but inside it's white, so you can, I guess, better see if there's any obstructions to the to when you reholster. But not really an issue, because again, with the double action, single action, you're permitted to, you can actually control the firing mechanism, right? So even if I'm pulling this, I can hold the hammer down, and that is a safety mechanism that I really enjoy on double action, single actions. All right, I've talked for way too long. This was supposed to be a much shorter video than that. I just wanted to show this gun some love, because it really deserves it. One thing, if you are familiar with these things, you might have noticed on this one, is I did disable the magazine safety. So magazine's empty, the magazine wall's empty. Gun will still fire. Yeah, so it's pretty easy to do. You just got to take off the sights And while the sights are off, I took out the spring, put it back together. Lots of videos on showing how to do that. But to me, that, you know, really finishes the gun out. I wouldn't do a thing to it. I really wish that Smith & Wesson would, you know, recontinue these. I doubt that's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe they could pull a Colt. Who knows? But I wish they would, like, freaking bring these back and kind of add, like, a modern magazine to it, because this is the same footprint as a 43X magazine. So you could definitely do some high capacity shit with it. Stuff 15 rounds, 18 rounds in there. Also, man, so I've stippled these, did a terrible fucking job on it, but if they came out with like a solid VZ grip or G10 grip for this, again, it would really make this gun perform like some of those really high dollar guns. Anyway, again, sorry this video is longer than I intended. I'll throw some shooting footage in there too, just so you can kind of see, you know, see it in action. All right, anyway, that's more, yep, that's all I got. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.